Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Reds Reloaded, the podcast where we talk about everything Cincinnati Reds. I am your host, Kyle Luther, a lifelong Cincinnati Reds fan. This is Chandler Patrick. He is also a lifelong Cincinnati Reds fan. Now, guys, we have a special guest with us today, the host of Reds Live. We have Sam LeCure. Sam, glad to have you on the show, man.
Thanks for having me, fellas. Appreciate it. I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys want to talk about.
So we'll just go over the Yankees series real quick. We got the W, guys. We did. We got the W. We did lose that first game 0-5, and then we won 10-2, and we won 4-1. We're kind of in the stretch of the Brewers series right now. We lost 1-2, and we lost 0-2. So we didn't win the series, guys, but we do have a game scheduled for 7-10 tonight. On those five stretch, guys, we left 24 men left on base. I think that's our big problem, including our pitching right now, including our bullpen. And we have somebody here to talk about that. Sam, our first question to you. What do you think the Reds' biggest need is pitching-wise, right? We've seen the struggles of the pitching late in the games. We're letting runners on base. We're letting runs go. What do you think the Reds' biggest need is right now? Is it bringing somebody up from AAA, or is it making trades, or what do you think?
No, I mean, I think it's just for every team's biggest issue is health, for the most part, right? Um, you know, Emilio Pagan comes back in. Does he solve everything? And do I think he's the greatest closer in the world? No, I don't. But it allows guys to pitch in situations that they're more used to, right? I mean, Emilio Pagan wasn't always a closer. He was a sixth inning guy, then seventh inning guy, eighth inning guy, like you work your way up by being in those positions and having success in them. Kind of everybody went to shit there in the month of May for the bullpen, right? I mean, so you could kind of point at any finger. But then, if you want to continue to talk about pitching, you could talk about Hunter Green. Okay. He hasn't pitched. He's pretty good, right? I mean, he helps this team a lot. So you figure him back into the mix. Andrew Abbott, Chase Burns, if Nick Lodolo can start to pull his head out of his rear, that has the makings of a pretty good looking rotation. Brady Singer's been doing it for a long time. Okay. So offensively, again, health's been part of it. They lost Gino for a while. They lost De La Cruz. They just got him back. I mean, there's different things that go into it. So always my biggest need for this Reds team, and it's getting more and more, that is health. So that's what I think they need. And I think that I think it would be a travesty for them to kind of make a knee-jerk reaction based on this next little stretch of baseball.
Right.
So, Sam, you was on a few different teams or a few different years where things could have been maybe a little different if the certain players had been a little healthy. I know 2014 kind of comes to mind, missing Bruce for a lot of the season, Joey for a lot of the season. Year to year, sometimes that has been the issue with the Reds, is a lot of different injuries. Is there anything that you've noticed that might be the cause of that potentially, whether it's, their preparation, or is it just things happen sometimes?
I mean, I think if you look at most rosters around baseball, and you're going to find that's common. I mean, that's why the first thing everybody says is health, right? I mean, they talk about pitching depth, and you can never have too much pitching because pitchers get hurt all the time.
Right.
More guys get hurt nowadays than ever before. And I'm kind of torn on it. One part of me says, like, well, how? One, you have all this nutrition and recovery and strength training and all this crap that, guys who weighed, 250 pounds, but were throwing 250 innings every year, they never got hurt, right? I mean, I don't get, they were drinking a 12-pack of beer after the game every night. I don't understand why that, how is that? You're more finely tuned than ever before, and you're hurt more than ever before. That doesn't make sense to me. The other part of it is these guys are doing things because of all that the body can't really withstand. They're running faster, they're throwing harder, swinging, all that, everything. They're doing everything this much more than guys when I played. And the 20 years before I played, I was doing more than they were able to do, just as far as the information that was at our disposal. So, is there something that I noticed? No. And that it pisses me off that I can't figure out like why this is such a phenomenon across baseball. But no, there's nothing that I do, because I don't think that Tito would let them overwork themselves to the point where they were in a position to get hurt. I think they're all very aware of that. It's just guys not having, I guess maybe I would say this, and this is speculation because I'm not down there playing with these guys and I think they're good baseball players. But you have to have kind of a governor a little bit, like on the car, so it doesn't, if people don't know what a governor is, that kind of regulates your effort level. You can't go 100% all the time. There's times where you're going to be more efficient doing things with less effort. Like, I don't think I ever threw a pitch in the major leagues at 100% effort. I pitched it like 90, 95%. Like, that's where my body was most comfortable. I was able to be available every day. It's kind of like understanding when you hit a ground ball and everybody gets pissed off because somebody's not running full speed down the line every time.
Right.
That's hard to do over 162 games, man. You got to have a governor to be like, all right, look, I'm going to put forth an effort here so it looks okay, but I'm not going to blow my hamstring out getting down the line on a routine ground ball to shortstop. That this shortstop's one of the best shortstops in the world. Like, he's going to make the play. Yes, errors are made, but sorry, that was a long-winded answer, but it's a curiosity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So going back on the pitching a little bit, you might have already touched on it a little bit, but we see a different style of pitching from when you pitched, right? You were talking about people pitching fast and people pitching 100 miles an hour, and it's a lot different now than it was when we were kids, when we were watching you growing up. And it's a lot different for the pitchers, where pitchers were only throwing a fastball at 94, 95. They weren't throwing it at 102, 103, or even 100 miles an hour. What do you think has changed from when you played to now? Do you think people's arms are getting stronger, or
Well, just some of the things I said about the strength training and the weighted ball programs, uh, to help people. They've kind of come up with this process of how to help people throw harder, right? I mean, that the weighted ball thing or whatever the different styles of things that they use now are. So that's certainly a big part of it. And people started to throw harder because people started paying for it. As in, if you're coming out of high school and you may throw the ball halfway up the backstop every time, but you can throw 100 miles an hour, they're going to draft you, and they're going to draft you high. And they'll try to figure out how to get you to throw strikes. So once you were these kids coming out of high school and college were throwing that hard, I mean, those were the ones that got drafted. So that's all anybody did. Parents of kids that are 15 and 16, parents that are of 10 to 12-year-olds, they were getting them in there throwing hard as soon as they could figure out how or pay for whatever it was. Because it's harder to hit the harder that's thrown, right? I mean, it's harder to hit 100 than it is 90. That's the theory at the big league level, is that they want swing and miss stuff, because if they swing and miss, there's no chance that there's going to be a home run.
right?
Right. So
Right.
that's why it has changed when, I was easier to hit, but I wasn't giving up home runs and walking guys all the time. You kind of had to get 2 or 3 hits against me to score a run. And it was easier to do then because I was throwing 90. It's harder now to string together 2 or 3 hits against Chase Burns. You hope he walks somebody and they hit a home run, because it's easier to make one swing and get 2 runs out of it, rather than try to string 3 hits together against a guy throwing 100 with a 92-mile-an-hour slider. That's what they want.
Right.
Yeah.
Chandler.
I know you mentioned just controlling yourself. Don't always go max effort, and that's something I mentioned a few times in previous episodes on this podcast. Is you know we don't always have to go full effort. Sometimes you might need to dial it back if you're not finding the zone, or if you're running into certain issues. Absolutely dial it back, get that control in, and then if you want to, go more max effort in a situation where you might be using it as a put away pitch, then sure. But doing that over and over again, it definitely does take its toll.
I didn't hear a question there, but I agree with you.
So, Sam, it's not out of the realm, right? You played on some pretty great Reds teams back in 2010 to 2015. So you played with people like Joey Votto. You played people like Jay Bruce. You played people like Johnny Cueto, right? You played with those great players on the Reds. From those playoff teams, who do you think the most underrated player is off those playoff teams?
On the teams I played it on?
Absolutely.
Oh, I don't know who's rating them. I didn't think any of them were underrated. I thought they were all pretty damn good because I knew and I got to see the work that they put in every day. That kind of made them and us the team that we were at those times. I mean, I can't think of anybody. Nobody comes to mind as far as an underrated player in the eyes of the guys in the clubhouse,
Right.
right? So I guess that would be my answer to that. I mean, maybe if you're talking, no, those dudes were good. I mean, I know Bronson just went in the Reds Hall of Fame, so it's hard to say that he's underrated. But I feel like what he was able to do, with a young pitching staff. I mean, it was like him, and then kids, Johnny Cueto and Homer and Mike Leake and whoever it was. And just kind of him leading by how he went about it. I mean, he pitched great games in the playoffs. I feel like in San Francisco, he threw 7 innings with a run, maybe even more innings than that. I don't know. No, man, dudes are good.
They were. So, you just want to touch on
Me,
your you
I was the
were
most underrated
underrated.
player on the fucking team. Yeah, that was.
So you moved into broadcasting. It's no secret that you moved into broadcasting. We see you on Reds Live, stuff like that. Can you tell us a little bit from transitioning into a player to transitioning into broadcasting?
Um, yeah, it was weird. I guess at first, just as far as I mean, I've always been comfortable in front of a camera. I mean, I just think it just comes part of going to. I went to the University of Texas, see my burnt orange. Um, and there was always a lot of media like that just was followed that around. I mean, that was just part of it. So you kind of learn how to be in those situations. Coming through the minor leagues, not as much media, but I was a prospect, so I was going to get a little bit more media attention than some of the other guys that maybe weren't on the track to the big leagues. And then in the big leagues, obviously there's media there. Now I'm part of it, so I was always comfortable in front of the camera, and I feel like I have a pretty good knowledge of the game and whatnot. So that wasn't really the issue with transitioning into the broadcasting. The issue was, kind of all the other stuff, mostly the timing, I'd say. Because, as we're going through the show, we know in the first block or the first segment that you'd see if you tune in at the very beginning of the show, that segment's going to be 8 minutes and 40 seconds long ish. Now that's like a rough view because we only have a certain amount of time that we're going to be on air, and we have to figure in commercials. We got to say Ray St. Clair, whoever it is, these sponsors or whatnot, and that takes time as well. And then there's time to transition in the truck where all the people are pushing buttons to move the next thing onto the screen and the next graphic and the next highlight package and all that stuff, and you've got somebody in your ear telling you when we're going to switch over to that. I mean, so they send out like the sheet like I already know what the show's going to be tonight. I just haven't done the homework on it yet. But it's the timing of what can I say when we're going to talk about, I don't even know who's pitching tonight, Rhett Lauder. When I'm talking about Rhett Lauder and they give us 45 seconds and it says, we're going to show the highlight package of him, whatever, what's he do his last start, or maybe he pitched a good game against the Brewers last year and they're going to show that. What do I want to highlight in that 45 seconds rather than give an answer like I'm giving to you right now that takes 25 minutes? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, how do you like condense it down into the short amount of time? So that was kind of the toughest part for me, is just figuring out the timing of it all. And that's where Brian Giesenslaw, the leader of the show, is really important for me, because he will keep me on track. Like, because he'll start to understand when I'm talking too much, and I'll kind of look at him and I just kind of see the look. We've worked together enough now that I know, like, by the look in his eye or by how he's moving through it, that I need to hurry up, or I can give a little bit more, whatever it is. So as far as the transition into it, that was really the biggest thing. But otherwise, I mean, there's really only two things I'm qualified for, and one's talking and one's baseball. So it seemed like a pretty good fit.
So something I have that I found researching going into this, your mustache had a nickname. Is that right?
Well, I thought you just said you did the research.
Cornelius. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
How's it holding up now?
Well, I don't know. You can see it. It's a little more gray than it was before, when I first started it, but it still hangs in there. I still wear my mustache a good bit. I mean, I thought it was kind of funny that it took on, that little life of its own there for a while, because it was a joke, but then not a joke, and then so kind of the story behind it goes is that in the minor leagues, when I was in it, there was a facial hair policy and you could not have facial hair. Okay. So we get into spring training of 2011, I guess, and they had lifted the facial hair policy. And by that time, I was, Corky Miller was, if you guys are lifelong Reds fans, you better know who that is.
I know who that is.
Corky and I were and are still really close. And, obviously Corky had the big handlebar mustache. And so me and another guy were kind of like paying homage to him by wearing our mustaches in spring training. But also, both of us had a chance to make the team. So I was like, well, if we make the team, we'll keep it. And if we get sent down to the minor leagues, we can wear facial hair there. So we'll wear a mustache. So, like, that was kind of it, like an ode to Corky. And I think both of us made the team. So we were rocking it. And I remember, my mom or somebody saying like, oh, that's a nice mustache, or whatever it was. Like I mean, it was thick, and
Yeah.
I thought it looked okay, to the point that now it doesn't have an Instagram page, but I still wear it because I like it. I mean, I just kind of, it blends in sometimes, but yeah, the mustache thing is funny and kind of a perfect organization, I guess. I didn't even realize that, whether it's Mr. Red or Mr. Red Legs, whichever one has the mustache, I kind of was aloof to that.
So, just touching on your career for a little bit. I mean, you had a great career with the Reds. You were on a great team, per se. 2010, 2015, you guys had the run in 2010. You had it against the in 2012, but we know the Phillies, the Giants, yeah, they really hurt us, per se. In 2012, that was a really rough year for me to watch the Reds lose to the Giants. It was like,
You should have tried doing the losing yourself.
It was like watching it on TV. It was like, and you could probably touch on it, and as a player, watching it on TV, it was like, man, are we gonna lose to the Giants? It was like every 2 years. It was 2010, it was 2012, it was 2014. You knew you were gonna see the Giants. They had a solid team, and the Reds had a solid team back then too. It was Joey Votto, it was Brandon Phillips, it was Jay Bruce, all those solid hitters and solid pitchers that we had. We had a great rotation then. We had a good bullpen, but we just couldn't finish the job. As a Reds fan, I want to see a World Series, and I don't know if I'm ever going to see it.
Well, that is the thing about being a fan in this city. A lot of times is that, and I don't know who to blame. Uh, Obviously, the players are doing the playing, so it's we're the only ones who can really do anything about it.
Right.
At the same time, this fan base for all the sports here. Um, and this may be the way it is in every city. I'm sure that it is. But this is the city that I know, and the city that I've been a player in, and the city that I now live in. And now I see it both sides more than I ever have before. It's just all negative. I mean, it's you got like I'll say you guys just kind of wait and may not even wait for anything to go wrong. Just assume it's going to go wrong.
Right.
I just don't. I mean, I am not that way with my life, and walking around thinking something's going to go bad, it just seems really stressful. Like, why would you walk out the door? Like, oh man, I see a car driving down the street. I'm probably going to get run over by. Like, that's what it feels like. That's just a lot of shit on your plate that you don't need, that you can't do anything about. Being negative about something never helps anything, my opinion. If you go and you root your team on and you don't wait the whole game just to boo, if you cheer, that affects the team on the field. And I can say that because on Taco Tuesdays or whatever the hell's down at the ballpark, 3-2-1, there are more people in the crowd and the team performs better on that night. We keep a record of it. They're like 5-3 on 3-2-1 night. It's real. And I think that the fans, again, probably across the country, don't understand what effect that you have with the energy that you bring to the ballpark. You bring good energy, it's good energy. You bring shitty energy, go on a date and bring bad energy and see how it goes at the end of the night. It's not going to go good, right? But if you go into it with rose colored glasses, like, yeah, you might get let down. But some guy said, poet, some guy, it's better to have loved and lost than have never loved at all. So, yeah, I know you want to win a World Series. I was the closest chance, I was the best chance you had in the past 15
Right.
years. I
Right.
know it. And I have to answer this question every time I do any kind of an interview. So, I get passionate about it and it pisses me off. So, next question.
Chandler, what do you got? I know you got questions.
So, little question. You had one career save at the major league level.
Yep.
Would you be able to take a guess on when that was and who the starting pitcher was that you took over for that game?
I'm pretty sure it was Matt Latos and it was against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And I don't know when.
Wow,
It
he
was
nailed that.
August 22nd, 2013. Yes.
Wow, he nailed that.
It's too easy for him.
I think Latos may have pitched. Uh, I don't know if he pitched 8 or not, but the game was tied, I think, going into the ninth. So I was going to pitch the ninth either way.
Right.
Because whoever Chappie was down or whoever, apparently the whole bullpen was down if they were going to my ass. But yeah, I couldn't really tell you how it went. I think Paul Goldschmidt was in there somewhere and kind of like looped a single to right. I struck somebody out left. It was left-handed because I think Dusty was warming up a left-hander, but I was better against left-handers than our lefties were. So he left. But yeah, I couldn't tell you. Maybe the last out was a ground ball to BP. Yeah. But yes, I have one save, and that was that.
So we'll go into this. Me and Chandler were actually talking about this and seeing if you could do it. So May 28th, 2010, that was your debut.
Yep.
Can you name the starting lineup from that debut?
I'd probably have a better chance of naming the Astros starting lineup, but I'll give. Well, I know Hanny caught.
Yep.
I'd imagine Roland was at third.
Yep.
Man, the shortstops change. BP, Joey.
Joey was not in that day.
Miguel Cairo played first.
Yep. Yep.
Um, yeah, they knew we weren't going to need Joey that day. I was going to shut him out. Miguel Cairo played first, probably Brucey. I'd imagine Stubby in center.
Yep.
I'm going to drop a Lance Nixon left.
Nope.
Let me go back to shortstop. I hope it was Paul Giannis.
It was not.
Damn. So there was like maybe because that's what I'm saying. Shortstop changed over a lot. So maybe Orlando Cabrera.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Left field. Man, I was going to be pretty sure it was Lance Nix. I have no idea. Who?
Johnny Gomes.
Oh, nice. That's
Johnny
a good
Gomes.
one. I think I should have known that. I think I should have known that. Yep. That was a fun day. Even I couldn't screw that one up. I think we scored 15 runs.
You did. You did.
Yep. Drew Sutton pinch hit for me in the 6th inning, and I was like just getting rolling. I felt like I think I was at 6 innings. I think I was at 98 pitches. I think because I remember telling Dusty and I struck out the side in the 6th. Throw my hardest pitches of the night. And Drew Sutton pinch hits and hits a grand slam off the foul pole. But I still wanted to go and tell Dusty that like I had more. Like I can throw more than 100 pitches. Like this ain't five and dive guy. Like I will go out there. I've thrown 148 pitches in a game. Like I will, and never been on the DL. Like I will pitch. But it's hard to argue with the pinch hit grand slam.
Right. You can't argue with that.
So, Sam, did you have a particular teammate or coach even that was your favorite while you was on the Reds, or someone that may have had a huge impact on you year to year?
Man, I mean, that was a lot. I mean, I still keep in touch with a lot of those guys. I mentioned Corky earlier. He and I are really close. Like, he's in town right now. They're having a lot of meetings with the Reds. He always stays here at my house. Like, he probably comes and stays, you know, 3 or 4 days a month. That may be, but I see him with regularity. Like, he and I are really tight. Ryan Ludwig and I were really tight, and still keep in touch. Dusty was a huge influence on me. We still, so I keep in touch with a lot of those guys from those ball clubs.
So,
So,
go ahead, Chandler.
I was just gonna say, going off of you mentioned Dusty. For those who may not know the story, Dusty did give you a call randomly one night, did he not? Well, after the fact.
Well, after what fact?
It was after it was about the NLDS from 2012. What happened?
Oh, yeah, yeah. He called me, and yeah, I was in. I mean, this was like 2 years ago. He called me about it.
Just randomly called you about that night.
About the 2012 NLDS.
Yeah.
Yeah, he called me about it. He said he regrets it.
Yeah, that's a.
No,
Yeah.
it's just he said. I think he said to you that he wished he would have brought you in, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he
He
was
said
ready in the
he
bullpen.
has few regrets from his managerial career, and one of them was not bringing. I told you we weren't going to talk about this shit no more. Why you keep bringing up the 2012 NLDS? You get a list of questions, so you know what you want to ask me, so you don't sit there and hem and haw and got to ask me the same question 12 times about how I ruined it for the city in 2012.
No, no, no. The Giants ruined that
No.
series. The Giants ruined that series.
No,
Uh,
not true. Hunter Pence ruined that series, but
yeah, yeah.
all right, I got time for one more question, fellas.
Alrighty, Chandler, what do you got?
No, I was just gonna pass it back to you.
Oh, okay, all right.
Let you ask
Another
last.
thing that I learned about broadcasting is that just like sports, preparation is key. So
Absolutely.
I make a ton of notes. I mean, I can show you. I don't know if you guys are airing this as a video pod or whatever it is, but I mean, like these are the notes that I make every game. And there's at least 4 pages that look like this. For me to say, you know, we get like 16 minutes on air, and half of that's my partner. So 4 pages of this, that's for me to speak like 6 minutes total. I do that every day. Preparation is key.
Appreciate that.
That would be my podcast advice.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
we do prepare for the podcast episodes. Last episode I had over 4 pages of notes myself. We
Well,
kind
just
of
as far as like, I mean, I'm talking more like this, these are things that I had to learn, that I was trying to learn as far as I don't interview much, like that's Giesenslaw. He does that. He goes down to the clubhouse and asks these guys the questions, but I watch and I listen to how he doesn't, how he's trying to, you know, where he's leading the conversation, you know, kind of start to whatever, however he does it. Like, I don't know, because I still don't ever do it, but I know that there's, a way that you just kind of want to lead the conversation by what you say and what you ask.
absolutely. Well, I don't think I got anything else. Chandler, you got anything else?
No.
Awesome. Well, Sam, we appreciate you coming on here.
You got to.
Guys, this is the episode. We appreciate you guys being here. We appreciate all the love and support for the podcast. And remember to always support the Reds through thick and thin. But
Support.
support the Reds.
Things will get better. It's not always going to go worse.
It's not.
This is a tough market to win in. It's the smallest market, which means the owners can spend the least amount of money than any other teams in your professional sports. So it's got to be luck and time. Timing is when preparation and opportunity meet. So the Reds have to draft really well, and they've got to be really good with who they bring in as a free agent. So it's hard to win here. So just hang in there. I know it's been tough, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hey, Sam with that. Yes. Okay. But guys, we appreciate all the love and support we have gotten. We got over 40,000 views on Facebook, and we appreciate that. We appreciate Sam coming in today and talking to us on his busy schedule. I know he's got a game tonight, and you guys will see him on TV tonight. But we appreciate it. And guys, as Marty would say, this one belongs to the Reds. See you guys.